What the fuck were you thinking, Kevin Cash? What's up, everybody? Welcome back to What's on the Menu. Dale and his beautiful bald head is back. How we doing, buddy?
Still a little hungover. Still a little unwell. Just two random things I didn't even plan on wearing today that just ended up on my body.
It ended up in the wardrobe. Guys, we have a ton of stuff to attack today on the menu. Plenty of juicy items.
Oh, yeah.
Dale, like he was mentioning, is still viciously hungover, but he manned up. And we got a great show for you ahead today.
Yep.
Dale, let's get right to it. Brass tacks. The World Series, Game 6 was last night. The Dodgers pull it off. Los Angeles, for whatever reason, has to have a Lakers title and Dodgers title within 2 weeks of each other. There's so many angles that we can talk about this really fast. What the fuck, as I mentioned in the beginning, are you doing, Kevin Cash?
So last night, guys, I watched this live. I watched this unfold. I texted Will. I texted everybody that I gamble with. I said, live bet the Dodgers right now. Now, something just didn't feel right. And that was not the situation to pull that dude. He had, 73 pitches and looked dominant.
Yes! There was no hard hits other than the one that he gave up to Austin Barnes. It was like on a 94-mile-per-hour fastball. And Betts, Seager, and Turner combined 0 for 6 and 6 Ks. Look, I look at the analytics. I understand that the Rays were able to get to this point because of it. Bumgarner did it a few years ago with the Giants. Let him ride out the momentum. I'm talking about Blake Snell.
Yeah.
Keep him out there. Who knows what would have happened? And then I would say this baseball season was like an HBO series. It's a fantastic show that was somehow put together, and COVID-19 is that fucking asshole, villain, antagonist, bad guy, whatever you want to say, that up until the very end, you thought, oh my God, this is it. They could avoid it. And fucking Justin Turner tested positive.
Literally, middle of the game. He just had to leave the game. Apparently, he had an inconclusive test 2 days ago. Yesterday, they tested it mid-game again for some reason. Came back positive. They pulled him out. You know, I respect the fact that he was back out there with his team celebrating.
I was going to ask you that. So so your stance is you're okay with him being back out there?
Yeah, I am. I'm over this COVID stuff. I'm over the situation. People are acting like the flu isn't even a thing anymore. Common colds aren't a thing anymore. I don't know. It just makes no sense to me. He's asymptomatic. They pull him off mid-game. It wasn't like him taking pictures and celebrating with his team at the end of everything they just went through was going to change any outcome, is going to change anything about the situation. They're all going home soon. I like him being able to go back out there and take pictures and celebrate. And I like his teammates accepting and wanting him out there.
I had a really long time to think about this. And what if there was a Game 7? Because he obviously wouldn't play in it. And then who knows how many more people probably would have tested positive and how much longer we would have had to wait for a potential Game 7. So I think Manfred and all of his crew and the rest of MLB are kind of praying to the gods, saying, thank God. What I say is, look, they have millions of dollars to pump into a lab that they need to get accurate and fast results. And this is more on the MLB. So I think I'm okay with Turner being out there. He said he was asymptomatic. He wasn't feeling anything. And this is the pinnacle of his career. And I'm not cheering for the Dodgers in any way. But for him to be out there, and this is what the optics are saying, all of Twitter, because everyone hates the Dodgers, you know, it is what it is. It didn't really affect anybody. And if anything, all of those players, maybe one test positive, I'm not really sure. It just goes to show, tying a bow on the MLB season, crazy. This is the most 2020 thing that could have happened.
Yeah, no, it absolutely is. Downtown LA last night was an absolute zoo.
It was a madhouse. Crazy. It was a madhouse.
Crazy. I expected nothing less.
It looks like the Fast and the Furious. It looked like a circus. It looked like a July 4th fireworks show. All of those Angelinos are going crazy. Oh my God. But look, if it was Cleveland or San Diego, I think we'd be doing the same thing.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Especially if we got two in the same year.
Yes.
I would have been going nuts. That would have been
two in the same year, two in 2 weeks of each other.
Right. That would have been me in 16 if we could have somehow pulled off two. I would have been whipping around. I mean, it was crazy. So we're going to move on. Last topic to do with baseball. Rob Manfred. That motherfucker sounded drunk.
Yes, he did.
In his interview last night. Could he put a sentence together?
Now, here's what happened. I think there was a studio delay in his ear, and for whatever reason, I don't know why, because Tom Verducci was the host and kind of leading everything, was the MC. Just take it off and just say, here, congratulations to Corey Seager, who won the LCS and World Series MVP. Just take it off. It was another bad look, and then he got booed mercifully from 11,000 plus Dodger fans. he had a rough year, and we've already bashed him enough.
Have we?
Maybe not enough.
Have we?
But
Yeah,
here, I'll be classy. Here's applause to you. You've somehow managed to pull this off, and it could have been completely derailed had the Rays won, had Kevin Cash not pulled Blake Snell. But the Dodgers win the 2020 World Series.
Yeah, just like you said, congratulations Dodgers, congratulations LA, 2 in the same year. It is what it is. They might have asterisks next to them, but you guys have the trophies. Moving on, last night we had Bachelorette week 3?
Episode 3, yeah.
3 last
Big
night.
Bachelorette boys.
Huge. Yosef went off the deep end last night.
Yeah, he
left early.
Went completely ballistic. Didn't wait for the appetizer, didn't wait for the entree, nothing.
No.
Went right in, didn't just... And then Claire, there's a lot of conflicting reports right now. As he mentioned, she is the senior citizen of the Bachelorette cast of all time. I think she's pushing 40, but, you know, it is Cougar season, and she's looking mighty, mighty fine. Dale... That name, as I mentioned, is just projected into the universe and either has really good vibes, except for when he comes home from Vegas, or is completely swooping on Claire. Because there's no shot. I feel really bad for the guys. I'm Team DeMar. DeMar Jackson's one of my boys. And I had to think, along with him and everyone else, what is even the point now?
So I'm Team Nobody at this point because Dale is the only one that gets any attention. Right?
Yeah.
Like, watching this show, everybody talks about Dale. I can't even like another one of these guys because they're all so jealous about Dale. It's actually crazy. Like, I can't hop on board with anyone else right now.
Yeah, I mean, look, he's a good-looking guy that probably is packing heat down low, and I know he wanted to score with fucking Claire, and I don't know how, with her dripping panties, had the discipline. Maybe that's just her, you know, her age and her maturity to not want to just completely stroke this guy. But I feel really bad for the other guys. And then Chris Harrison, the host, I mean, you see at the end of the episode saying this is something that we haven't seen in the 18 years of this show. I mean, you gotta hide it a little better.
Let's talk about the roast real quick. Let's get into this roast. So Claire had the guys get a roast together for a group date. On the roast.
Like Comedy Central style roast.
Comedy Central, like Charlie Sheen sitting down in the chair.
Justin Bieber.
Yeah. So
Jane Franco.
The guys that were on the group date got to go in with Claire, make some jokes up, and then the other guys in the house went and were the audience.
Yeah.
Dale was the center of attention on these jokes. Claire made it a point the entire time that they're getting ready, like, I want these guys to be able to take it, I want to see who can handle it.
Yeah.
And after about the 4th or 5th guy comes up, Claire starts getting a little emotional, like, oh my god, all these guys know that I want Dale. Like, pretty much that's what it comes down to.
Yeah.
And at the end of it, she gets one-on-one time and she's just grilling these guys. Like, why do you have to be so mean to Dale? Like, what was the reasoning behind this? What was the reasoning behind that? At that moment, Claire literally, like, I don't like her anymore.
It was Dale-centric. She is trying to make a point and drive home to everybody saying, no, this isn't all about Dale. Claire, again, is it the senile that's kicking in? Is this what happens when you're the oldest contestant? Because that's not the case. And you continuously say behind when it's like on the solo shots and it's just her, oh, I just have so many feelings. You gotta stick to your guns. Like, you can't, if you know when it's real, right? And the second that guy stepped out of that fucking limo on that first episode, she has been slobbering all over him. And look, I would too if I was her. And she's gone through a lot of traumatic experiences. But you gotta play to the role. And I forgot how great reality TV is because it is so fucking stupid, but so visually appealing at the same time. It's like a train wreck or like someone throwing up. Like, it's so like, ugh, like you don't want to look at it. It's bad, but you cannot take your eyes off of it.
Yeah, that's exactly. BDN was sitting here with me yesterday. We're watching it, and he never watched Bachelorette before. He's like,
and you can somehow get like invested into the TV.
He's
like
addicted.
Pulls you in.
He's addicted now. He's like, all right, I can't wait till next week. Now we're here. But yeah, so we'll keep our eyes on for that. The previews for next week look crazy. Kind of have an idea of what's going to happen, but we'll see. Just gotta stick around and watch.
I think it might be canned. I think at this point she just knows what she wants, and you know, Dale is gonna go home a happy man.
It's Dale. You know, Dale's usually end up on top.
Literally and figuratively.
Alright guys, that's all we have for today's episode. It is Wednesday, October 28th. Go give us a follow on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Apple, Spotify, Tiki-Taki. Will and I will be back on Friday. We may have a Charlie the Parlay pick tomorrow. Hopefully that dude's been on vacation.
Char is in Los Angeles because
Dodgers one. He thinks he can just take vacation.
Yeah, he thinks he could just take vacation. So I'm gonna have to have a stern talk with him.
Yeah, so
but
figure that out. Give us the follows. See you guys on Friday.